Sitting here with Black Dice, and we're going to show you how this Airlift 3-piece system works.
Hold on. I was like, hold on. I was thinking we have a e-brake for this, right? It's on, it just wasn't on very much.
Sitting here with Black Dice, and we're going to show you how this Airlift 3-piece system works. So you can use the controller in the truck, or you can calibrate that to your phone. This is what it looks like. I'm going to start off by hitting the ride height button. That's the middle button. This is about where Zach rides with it at ride height. Pretty low, but still high enough where a pothole is not going to kill you. I'll show you the low setting. So this setting is what we use if we're just rolling straight at a car show. You want to ride super low. So this low setting will still allow you to turn all the way. This is the high setting that we have. This is if you know there's train tracks coming or something like that. You need to air it up really quick. This is the high setting. So we'd never really drive it this way unless there was some kind of road hazard or something like that. So I'm going to go all the way up to all the way down. One of the main reasons that I choose the Airlift 3P is just because it's simple. All you do is hook up a few wires and relays. You run 4 air lines, 1 to each bag, and then 1 air line to the tank that has a water trap between it. Then you've got your compressors going into the tank, and that's it. With the old school design of the manual valves, you would have 8 different valves that are teed into one another with a bunch of different fittings and a ton of things to hook up, and then wires to run to each valve. That does all the work for you. And you can see just, this makes doing air ride so easy to just plug and play. It's a little bit more expensive than your typical manual valve setup, but it's totally worth it. If you like clean, easy to install, very functional, and it just looks cool, this is the kit for you. And if you're wondering about the difference in the Airlift 3P and 3H, the 3H comes with extra height sensors that'll tell you the exact height off the ground you are, and it uses that to adjust. 3P system just uses the pressure from each bag that you preset to whatever height you want it to be, and it will maintain that pressure When you turn the truck on, you'll see the Airlift 3P logo. Then you're going to see how much pressure is in each bag and how much pressure is in your tank. We've got this truck set up to 150 PSI to turn the compressors off, but you can change that to a lot of different options. So to get into your menu, what you're going to do is press the Airlift button and then this button right here. So you're going to press this one and then this one as well together, and it's going to give you your options. So let's take a look at some of these options. The first one is display. So you have your brightness sleeping, the sleep time, your all up button. So you can choose what this top button does. So let's look at that. You can have that top button do all up, front up, or a preset pressure. You can have your all down button do some different things. So that's this button right here. You can have it do all down, front down, a preset, or air out. I usually just do all down, so you hold it down to air all the way out. I don't like to have it at air out, because if you're driving down the road, you accidentally hit this button and your truck lays all the way out. That could be dangerous. So we use all down. And then choose your units, PSI, or you can have a bar if you rather have a bar. And then language. It's in a lot of different languages: English, Spanish, German, and French. Our next option is operational. You can have a rise on start option. That way, as soon as you start the truck up, it's going to rise up to your ride height. You can have a preset maintain. So this will just maintain your preset. So if I hit ride height, if the pressures were to get off of that ride height pressure, it will automatically adjust it. I like that to be on. That way it's always at ride height and you don't have to worry about pressing any buttons. It has an option for minimum drive height, PSI, in the front, so you don't lay out. 25 pounds of pressure is what we set it at. I don't like for it to be anything higher than 30 or 40, because then if you're at your low setting, it may warn you that you're too low in the PSI and it won't let you lay all the way out. Pressure and height, you can have the height or the pressure. This is the 3P system, so it only has pressure. You can also have the 3H that you have to install height sensors on. It's a lot of extra work to do those, but there are some perks to that. I've had really good luck with just the pressure and allowing it to do all the work. Show mode is an option that you can have where you can press all the buttons on your controller without having the truck on. And then you have Bluetooth pair. You're going to click Bluetooth pair and click on, and for one ignition cycle, you're going to be able to connect your phone. This is just for initial setup. The compressor, you can choose on or off on your compressors, enable and disable through a new ignition cycle. So you can disable your compressors if you don't want those to turn on if you're working on something. If you're running a single or dual compressor, that's where you put that in. This truck has a dual compressor. A max pressure, so that's the max tank pressure that you can have. This is where you choose how much PSI your compressor will go up to. And you can see that you can manually choose that up to, I think, 200 PSI. And then you have your duty cycle, and usually a 50% duty cycle is pretty standard on most of these trucks. You can set up a minimum battery voltage, so it recognizes if you're below a certain voltage and it won't let the compressors turn on. The Airlift 3P system will still work, it just won't let the compressors kill your battery. Preset mode allows you to either double tap one of the buttons or single tap. I always set these up to double tap because you don't want to accidentally just hit a button and the truck move. You have to double tap whatever height you want it to go to. Now the individual bags are located right here. You can press and hold those without double tapping. That is only for your presets. And then you have a factory reset, which I'm not gonna choose right now. When you first get your Airlift 3P system installed, you'll need to calibrate the system. And that just airs up the system, tests out each bag. It goes up and down and just calibrates and makes sure everything's running correctly. And that's how it works. It's a pretty simple design. I love this. It works great. People ask, should I use the Airlift 3P or 3H? I like the 3P because it's just a plug and play system. You don't have to install a bunch of ride height sensors or anything like that. All you have to do is plug your 4 airbag air lines into the manifold, and then you just plug in your tank to the manifold, and the compressors go into the tank. So it's really easy. There's not a lot to wire up. It comes with all the relays and all the dual compressor harnesses if you have dual compressors. Comes with everything you need. Comes with some great instructions, so if you're worried about how to install this thing or what to do, there's a great visual instruction in here that shows you exactly how to wire it. There's not a lot to it. If I can do it, you definitely can, and they give great instructions as well. So you're going to get, this is the main brains of it. This is the manifold. It's got all these different air lines in here. One's going to go to the tank, 4 of them's going to go to the bags, and one's an exit port. Then you've got the controller. It also comes with zip ties and all the electrical fittings and all that kind of stuff that you need to hook it up to the battery. And if you have a dual compressor setup, it's going to come with 2 harnesses. The harnesses already have the relays wired into them, so it's literally you just plug this in, send this up to the battery, hook a positive and a negative up, and then it has a remote for your ignition to know when it turns on, and that's it. Plug in some air lines, hook up these to your battery, and then connect it all together. That's why I love this setup, is it's so simple. You can have it done in a day and have air ride on your vehicle.